Hello, everybody, and welcome to the next episode of Shonen and Chill. I am Zenrotto, joined by Oceaniz, and we're here to talk about another week of Shonen Jump.
I like how you said next episode because we didn't check beforehand which number it is it?
Bingo! I have no idea. It's 20
I
something.
think 23, I believe.
I
I
think it's
think it's
23 because I
23.
remember the thumbnail. There's Deku holding the TV is 22, so I believe it's 23.
Yes.
But I wasn't 100% sure, so I said next episode.
Sneaky, sneaky. I like it.
Yes, yeah. Let's see how we avoid extra takes on this show. One shot.
We do it in one or we don't do it at all.
Exactly. If we have to do a second take, we just cancel for the week. We're not doing it anymore.
If we ever have to do a second take, the show's just over.
The first time we do a second take, it's canceled forever. We're never doing another one.
I just can't do this, man.
I can't cope with having to do multiple takes.
All right, let's cut to the chase, man. What were your top three?
My top three this week was number 1, Jujutsu Kaisen. Number 2, My Hero Academia. Number 3, Phantom Seer.
Oh, that hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit when we talk about it, because I've seen some semi-convincing arguments from some people that people might be interpreting that wrong. I don't know if I buy it yet because I have no faith in Shonen Jump to do good things, but we'll talk about it when we get there.
All right. My top three were Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero Academia, and Mashle.
So the same as usual for us.
Yeah, basically.
The usual affair.
I saw someone say today that you don't read Shonen Jump, you read 3 series and whatever else Shonen Jump happens to have, and yeah, that's very much the experience.
Pretty much, yeah. You don't ever read the whole magazine. You just read what you're there for, and then you're like, I'll look at this other stuff. Whatever else is there.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited because I, for the first time in my life, actually ordered an actual Shonen Jump issue.
Oh, nice. I have Japan. A bunch of those from when I was a kid, back when like Naruto and Bleach were still running.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Right. Yeah, I got the one, actually the one from last week, the one with the My Hero cover and color page.
Oh, nice. These Shonen Jump covers make really cool like posters. If you can get somebody to resize the art, they're always really cool. Not this one, not this ugly Asta thing that's on this week's cover, but some of them. Yeah, I really want that Halloween Jujutsu Kaisen one where they're all in Halloween costumes and Yuji's eating the cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, there's a lot of like wholesome art out there. Also, since you mentioned Black Clover, there is someone out there that on every single one of our episodes, he only comments, "Man, Black Clover was great this week."
I love that guy. He does Black Clover and Boruto. He says, but whenever Boruto is out, he also says Boruto was good.
Yes.
And he is my favorite guy because he has stuck with us for 22. This will be 23 episodes of us just shitting on the stuff that he likes. And he's still here. I respect that so much.
Yeah. Dear commenter whose name I unfortunately didn't catch, but we really respect you. That is so awesome.
I know. I respect the hell out of that because I don't think we've said a nice thing about Boruto or Black Clover yet. And he's always here.
We haven't said anything about Black Clover in general.
That's
like
true.
No one reads that. I mean, it's getting a movie now, which
yeah,
good
I saw
for
that.
those who care.
Yeah. Jujutsu Kaisen's also getting a movie, so I know which one I'm watching, but
that's for sure. All right, enough flirting. What's the first one on your magic list?
Okay, well, did you read Vigilantes? Because technically it's that one, but okay, you did.
Yes, I did.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk about it. It was okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that Vigilantes is ending. That way I don't have to read it for much longer. So that's good. And as far as like a setup for a final confrontation goes, this is pretty cool. Like the fucking blackout in the city and the villain who starts taking over it. Like it's cliche, but it's a good cliche. I'm glad that we're going into like a distinct final set piece and that it is something that, is this cool. So yeah,
I liked his little confrontation with Eraserhead. I like because it's just like a really good little look at how far he's come kind of moment where he could barely do anything before, and now he's skittering up buildings and dodging a hero who should probably counter him, but he doesn't because he had all of his quirkless training with Knuckle Duster. It was a pretty cool little cute thing. I like that they were like, "Hey, policeman, you're a big idiot," because right when the cop started this, I was like, "That's a really dumb thing to do." So I'm glad that everyone called him a massive idiot in this one. I feel like he's always kind of dumb. Even in the main series,
Yeah.
I remember seeing that character and being like, get off the panel. Get out of the way.
I mean, Tsukauchi doesn't do that much in the main series except kind of be supportive to All Might most of the time. He's just like, oh, All Might, your secret is safe with me, and oh, All Might, we will do all in our power to make sure society doesn't crumble. And I'm sure that
That's
worked
going
out
great. Yeah,
fine.
we'll see how good that's going when we get to the regular one later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't really have a ton
Uh,
to say about Vigilantes. Just, it was cute. It was good.
yeah, like
As far
it
as
was better than
Vigilantes
the.
goes, it was good.
Yes, it was better than the average Vigilantes chapter, and that's
Yes.
pretty decent.
All right.
Right. What's the
Cool.
next?
That saves a lot of time. It looks like next on the list is, oh my god, Witch Watch.
Weird but cute.
Very weird.
Like,
I actually found the dude in the dog mask really creepy.
yeah, some
Like,
of those panels were very uncanny.
super unsettling with the dog mask. I don't know
Uh-huh.
what it was because I think it was supposed to be funny,
Mm-hmm.
but it really weirded me out. Like, if I saw that in an alleyway or something, I'd be like, no, I gotta, no.
No, my mom warned me of stuff like this.
The
I'm
Book of
sorry.
Prophecies told me to get away from shit like this.
Also, I do like at the beginning when it's like, oh yeah, she has like this book of prophecies, and it's just like a novel she really liked once, and it's
Yep.
turned into her book of prophecies. That's really cool. I really like that. That's so cute. But yeah, like this was very much kind of. It's weird. This chapter very much reminded me of like early shonen titles when they start introducing bigger parts of the main cast before they get into like the first big arc. Like this kind of reminds me of in Bleach, the first couple of chapters in the town where it's just like, oh, here's one of Ichigo's friends, and oh, here's another guy who's now Ichigo's friend, and oh, this guy hates Ichigo, but he's part of the main cast now. Like this chapter very much felt like that. Like, oh, here's a cool new character who will probably be a mainstay. I hope you didn't want any real plot anytime soon, and you know what? I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I
Like,
imagine he'll
I.
be around for a while. Um,
Mm-hmm.
this was definitely I'm a new character, look at me introduction.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine he'll be around for a bit, which is fine. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know that romance triangle was what this needed right away, but I'm okay with it. Um,
Well, I'm not sure if it's going to be a triangle. I didn't. I mean, it could be, but his introduction didn't really strike me as here's a romantic rival. It really just struck me as here's just another character. Like, I mean, I suppose when you have a romance series like that, just another character being a rival is not exactly a far fetched conclusion. But just off of this chapter, I didn't quite get that impression personally.
all right, fair enough. And I don't know. I always like just the little portions of the chapter where it's the two of them together. It's always funny.
Mm-hmm.
She's very confident all the time that he's about to confess his undying love for her, and it's never what happens.
Yeah, it's really cute.
Her immense confidence that that's what's about to happen. It's always really funny.
Yeah, when he's like, "Oh yeah, come under the umbrella with me," I really thought like, "Oh god, this is gonna be good, isn't it?"
hmm And then yeah, the whole time they get to that open clearing, and she's like, "Yes, it's happening." She says, "I'm completely ready," and then he just completely changes the subject every time.
He's like,
Uh,
"We're getting fallen." She's like, "What?" That's not what you're supposed to say.
it's always funny to me. I think that's
Yeah,
the
it's
only
cute.
gag that's in like every chapter, and it's always funny to me.
Yeah, it's cute. It's still cute. We're approaching chapter 10. I'm hoping that I keep saying this, I feel like every week with Witch Watch. I hope that we get some more substance soon. But hey, if we're already starting to expand the mainstay cast, then maybe soon we can have
Yeah, I
like,
think we've kind of moved
you
into the
know.
setup area where like we're out of the
Hmm.
silly premise creating aspect of it, and
Hmm.
now we're going to start meeting characters with at least some semi consistency. So we'll probably
Hmm.
start veering in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
A new
Yeah.
cast member introduction leaves me hopeful that that's probably where we're gonna go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I feel yeah. Yeah. In that case, which watch are we comfortable to rate it a cute out of 10
Cute out of
once
10
again?
every week. Cute out of
so
10.
far, so far every week. Yeah.
All right, so next up is the Elusive Samurai. Pretty good. I like this one.
Yeah, it was actually really entertaining to see him like outsmart the archer guy. It was really cool.
Yeah, pretty much every
Like,
time this series seems to have like a competition chapter, I'm like, oh, I'm into it. So I really hope
mm-hmm,
that it keeps this energy for the next few.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I also like the random shout out to the Parthians. That was interesting. That's okay.
Yeah, it's very enthusiastic about teaching us random stuff. But one thing I will say is like the competition was over, and I was like, okay, the chapter is done now. And then there was like another 2 or 3 full pages of people just talking, and I was like, oh, okay, I am reading the Elusive Samurai.
Yeah, I feel like they could have ended it a lot sooner than they ended it. Just ended on the high note of him winning.
Yeah, basically. I mean, to be fair, the actual end of chapter panel is pretty funny, which is the soldier asking the eye guy, "So can eyes really like secrete sweat?" And he's like, "Yes, of course. They can also produce stomach acid." Which
Yeah,
I'm like, "Ew."
with his giant popped out eyes.
Yeah. Which is funny because that means this entire time everyone could actually
Yeah,
indeed
they've
see
been
those.
seeing his creepy eyes, his sweaty eyes this whole time,
He did canonically put his eye into another guy's ear.
and make it squeak to talk.
But yeah, so that was pretty fun. Again, I think Elusive Samurai just really needs to commit to actually doing things rather than telling us about what it's gonna do. Because every time it
Yeah,
does things,
even
it's
the end of this
cool.
chapter is like the exact same thing of, "Hey, you're gonna be the king that takes the land back." But I was like, I knew that. That was the setup of
Yeah,
the whole series.
yeah.
I didn't need
I
that.
mean, I do also like the visual of like his vision becoming clearer once he turns around to like symbolize how he's more comfortable on the run. So that's cool. But again, I just wish the series would not tell me this so often. Like we're
Yeah,
what,
it's
five,
just
6 chapters in?
it's already been
Like I know
established
the premise.
about him that that's the
Yeah.
case. And maybe this is just their way of telling us like, "Hey, this is him coming to that realization that he can fight and run at the same time or something." I don't know.
Hmm.
But it definitely feels like they just keep. It reminds me of like a TV anime where the beginning of every episode they're like, "This is the premise of the show." Like, I
Oh,
get it.
so like the My Hero anime that has to introduce everyone's quirks every episode.
Yeah, like that. Or like there's a section in the Bleach anime where it's like a lot of filler. And at the beginning of
Hmm.
every filler episode, they start the episode by telling you that Ichigo Kurosaki was a normal 15-year-old boy until he met Rukia
Oh
Kuchiki,
god.
who gave him Soul Reaper powers, and it's like episode
Oh
400. It's
oh
like, I know.
god.
I've seen a few of
Love
these.
that. Love that.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes these things are out of the control of the creators or the production. Because, for example, in the case of My Hero, I know it's a mandate by the channel it airs on. That's also why they have to have one recap every season, and it always has to be at the start of the season. Although apparently I haven't watched the new season yet, but apparently this season they kind of cheated and had like 2 minutes of recap, and the rest was just a filler episode.
Oh
But
yeah, I saw it was
yeah,
like episode 0 or whatever. Is that what you're talking about?
yes, exactly. That's
That's a smart
that's
way to
how
do
they
it.
have to. Yeah, and I'm glad that they did it this time because they haven't done it since season 2. Whereas with season 3 and 4, it was very much just, oh yeah, episode 1 is just useless. Like just skip it. Um, but yeah, so sometimes these recap thingies are not under the control of the creator. So I wonder if with Elusive Samurai, maybe this is just something that also he's being told by his editors. Because of course,
Like maybe they're saying it's not clear enough. Maybe.
maybe. I mean, I don't know how much goes on behind the scenes because obviously this guy has a couple of editors since he's an established mangaka already. So yeah, maybe that makes a difference. I couldn't say. I couldn't make an educated guess on that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of hope that stops soon. Because I
Yeah,
understand
same.
that he likes running away and he's gonna take his kingdom back. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hook from the very first chapter. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I did like
Yeah.
the them showing that the priest guy is actually pretty smart in this chapter and he's
Mm-hmm.
not just a creepy weirdo. I
Mm-hmm.
thought that was good because he kind of needed he was veering into pure creepy weirdo territory where he was just
Mm-hmm.
gonna be like a comic relief dummy. But
Mm-hmm.
now that they actually put out that yeah, I intentionally put you right in front of him and spread rumors around so that because he overthinks things. He's got such good eyesight that he tries to like play 4D chess and it always screws him over. So by putting you
Mm-hmm.
right in front of him, he would imagine there's no way that you could possibly be that person that we'd been trying to hide. And then
Mm-hmm.
everyone else is going to be looking all over the country and we can just hang out and get tough. And I thought that
Mm-hmm.
was smart. It was nice to make him competent from how dumb he
Mm-hmm.
usually is.
For sure. Like for me, just with the priest, it's painful to see how hard the author's trying to make him as popular as Koro Sensei.
Oh, he's trying
Because
real hard and it's not working.
yeah, it is bordering on cringe for me personally sometimes, where where he has these big panels of him making his funny face, and it's like, dog, Koro Sensei was lightning in the bottle.
Yeah,
Like
well, it's also a lot easier to do that kind of stuff with a squid man with a giant smiley face as a head
that's
instead of just
also
a
true.
person.
Hmm.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't play Koro Sensei's insanity with just like a human.
Yeah. Also, Koro Sensei just has an easier name to remember, whereas this guy's what Yori Shigedono is like. Man, don't make me say
As far as I'm
syllables.
concerned, his name is the priest.
Exactly, Priest Kun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. So, Elusive Samurai gets a wordy out of 10,
Yep.
and an additional cool, please more of this out of 10 added onto it.
Please maintain this level out of 10.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, next
What's
up,
next?
Undead Unluck.
Oh boy, this was fun.
I liked it a
I
lot. I like this guy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love the martial arts boy. I don't remember his name
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
it's been too long since I've seen him, and also I've
Mm-hmm.
only had these chapters for an hour, so I'm doing my best.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
really like
We're
him. I love
recording.
his dynamic with the girl, and his power is funny as hell,
Mm-hmm.
and they use it in a really
Mm-hmm.
funny way in this chapter,
Mm-hmm.
where his punishment to her is to force her to hurt his feelings and feel bad about it.
Yeah,
It's really
which
funny.
is really cute. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like in general, when I start this chapter, I thought, oh, nice, another flashback chapter because it starts out as one. But then it kind of just went into fun shenanigans with the dude and his little girl companion. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. Like it was a very nice chapter after like the relatively heavy stuff we've been dealing with so far. Like we went from the mangaka storyline right into like the confrontation between Billy and Hui or Jui. I'm not sure. People tell me it's Spanish. I think it's French, but I mean,
I
I'm
don't know.
neither. So,
Lady,
yeah.
sword lady.
Well, not anymore. She
Well,
left her
yeah,
cool
not
sword.
not anymore.
She left a cool sword.
She left the cool sword and also her arm back in the snow. So
Who cares about the arm, man? She left the
she
sword.
left the fire sword.
She's not
Weebs
raw
everywhere are
anymore.
furious.
No, how could you put a katana into the snow? It's bad for it. Haven't you read 17 Reddit threads on how to polish a katana properly, made by 21-year-old American white guys?
Reminds me of the video of the dude on the bus who stopped robbers with his sword. If you haven't seen that, I need to show that to you after this. It's the most cringy shit ever.
Oh god.
And it
Okay,
feels
well.
bad being cringe because he legitimately did save a bunch of people from robbers, but he's just being the most anime weeb about it he possibly could.
Oh, I mean, honestly, I almost respect that. Like, if you manage to do that, that's actually pretty cool. Just don't try, ever.
Yeah, don't try it, but
It's not
if it
worth
does
it.
somehow work out, congrats.
In general, if you're like a normal person with no training, just please prioritize your safety in situations like those. Don't try to be a hero. It never works out
It
well.
does not work out well for anybody usually.
Take it, yeah, take it from a catastrophe responder. Nah, leave that to people who know what they're doing.
Yes.
But anyway, Undead Unluck was cool. Again, this chapter was a bit of, oh, what are we doing next? How is this going to work out? But it was fun, so I forgive it. And it had a couple of really nice spreads, and now we're officially in the next sort of boss battle, I guess, against Summer.
Mm-hmm. I
So,
love the fireworks
I'm
spread.
digging it.
Great. The final spread in the
Yeah.
chapter, great stuff. It was just a fun, cute chapter for people to be like, hey, it's not all suffering. Remember that we have fun around here. It's one of my favorites in a while, I think. Because I really like the one with Billy and whatever, Billy and Lady when they're fighting. Because that one hit like on a very emotional level, just their faces and the memories and stuff. This one hits on a completely different emotional level where it's just like, we're having a good time. Yeah, this is fun again. So I don't know.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
not great literary analysis, but I really liked the chapter, just the silliness of it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think especially this chapter for me personally was very carried also just by how fun everything looked. Like, I don't praise the art of Undead Unluck all that often, but I do want to have it on record. The art is so good.
It is really
Like,
good.
Yeah, and especially like those spreads. You mentioned the fireworks spread, and also the other one when they first attack the Uma. Like, it just looks good. It's a fun series to look at. And again, isn't that why we're here at the
That's
end
true.
of the day?
Even the expanded panel close to the beginning where it's just the martial arts guy standing in the wind looks cool.
Yeah, like, oof, that panel actually made me want to color it, which is always a good sign for any panel, basically. Like, in general, if I ever look at something in a manga or an anime and I immediately either want to color or draw it, that's how I judge whether or not it's good or not.
All right.
Like,
I respect that.
Yeah, like, God, have you ever gotten into the Fate franchise?
No.
Good.
No, hardcore avoided that one.
Yeah, because like, oh God, it's not worth it. But most of those characters have such cool designs, and whenever I look at them, I'm like, fuck, I need to draw this guy, and then I do it, and then I fail, and I'm sad. So I guess don't get into Fate. That's
All
what
right.
I'm saying.
It's good. It's a good lesson from the Undead Unluck chapter. Don't get into Fate out of 10.
Do literally anything else with your time. And if someone online tells you to read the visual novel because it's so much better than the anime, just fucking run. I have no patience for
block
visual
and book
novels,
it the other
man.
direction.
Yeah, man. All right,
We're
what's
definitely
next?
getting comments about that later.
Oh no, dude, the visual novel fandom is insane, and that's why it's so funny to trip them off because like I respect that. I respect it if you can spend 100 hours playing a game that is not a good game and reading a book that is not a good book. Like, hey, I respect that. But
It's
for
all about
me, that is like,
dedication.
yeah, like for me, just visual novels as a medium has always bothered me because it's like it's worse at being a game than 90% of all games, and it's worse at being a book than 90% of all books. And it doesn't coalesce into anything by itself, at least from what I've experienced. So, I don't really recommend visual novels to anyone unless you really just want to try it out and see if you personally gel more with it. Like, and that's not to say that like they don't have good stories. Like, I like the Fate storyline when it's being coherent. I just think a decade or more of spin-offs and additional routes and whatnot have just diluted that storyline into less than coherence. Let's put it that way.
That's fair.
When you have when you have three parallel realities that then all coalesce into the same sequel, which then also has three parallel realities, that's when things get weird.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it.
Good. Lesson learned. All right. What's next on the list?
All right, so now we're moving into the number threes, and the first one in the list for the number threes is Phantom Seer. Chapter was, yeah, okay. So we'll talk about that first. So Phantom Seer is getting a page extension, and then moving into what the editor said is the final phase. So
Yes.
a lot of people, myself included, took that to mean, yeah, we're closing this shit down. which is kind of ridiculous because it's doing super well. I think I was
Mm-hmm.
looking at the stats, and the only like small series that sells better than it is Mashle, and it beats like all the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so there's a lot of people wondering why you would pull the plug on it, and why what's going on. Is there like beef between the mangaka and the company or whatever? But someone pointed out to me
Mm-hmm.
that the wording doesn't necessarily mean that it's ending in like a week.
Mm-hmm.
So it could mean that just we're entering into, they're going to go through the process of fighting all of these people, and then they're going to fight Senju, whatever. And that was just meant to be the end after he beats her. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't meant to go on like 100 chapters. Like it could just end at like being a 70 chapter series.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to say because again, I don't have faith in Shonen Jump making smart decisions ever. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it does seem a little weird to axe a series that is young and like your second most popular in that category.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I don't know. I could see either one being right.
The problem I have with the optimism here is that Phantom Seer has had a weird streak of getting almost no promotion from Jump,
Yeah, which
and
I don't get that. Not only does it get no promotion from Jump, but it's always like in the back of the table of contents, like sitting
exactly.
down in the cellar in the back of the magazine, and I don't understand why. Its numbers are good.
Yeah, but it's literally been at the end of the magazine, which is the shame position, for like 4 weeks in a row now, and I don't get it. And I've heard this sentiment expressed by a lot of people, and I don't know what the problem could be. If it maybe is personal beef, because I mean Japanese companies do have had tendency to be pretty overt in how they handle personal disputes. If anyone remembers the Kojima situation back at Konami, you know, it's
Yeah,
not unheard of that stuff just goes down behind the scenes and we're just left to wonder. Um, where in the case of Kojima, it even went as far as Konami trying to literally prevent him and his employees from getting healthcare and access to like the basic healthcare of Japan society, which you know
love
that's the
that.
extreme example.
What a good
Yeah,
company Konami is.
what a lovely company. But in this case, I just don't know how to interpret it because I also saw parts of the Japanese fandom talk about it as if like it actually only has a very small amount of chapters left, and it just doesn't make sense to me how this could be like a natural conclusion because we are very much just fighting the first out of 5 goons at this point, or 4, I don't remember,
It's
of
four
like
goons
that.
and the boss.
Yeah, like I don't know. Are we gonna get through that in like 5 or 6 chapters? That seems a bit
Yeah,
rushed.
I mean, if we're even if we're going to get through that as like within 15 chapters, you've effectively made it that like you can have no character moments, you can't have any like relaxation chapters. It just has to be like bam, bam, bam. Oh, we found the new bad guy. Let's kick its ass, and just get
Hmm.
through all of it. And I mean, like they raised another point where it's like, why would if it was beef and they wanted the series gone as quick as possible, why would they give them an extended page count to
Yeah,
finish
that's
it up
true.
as best they can in that time? Why
Hmm.
wouldn't they just pull like a Tokyo Shinobi Squad and be like, all right, you got 2 weeks, get it done?
Hmm.
Um, but then part of me is like, because they know it's selling well and they want to capitalize on it as much as possible and make sure they can get a nice fleshed out, like I think it'd be 4 volumes. I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't
Something
know.
like
It's
that.
hard. It's hard to balance any sense of optimism versus cynicism toward Japanese companies and Shonen
Yeah,
Jump in general.
yeah. Because if Phantom Seer ends within the next month, it will have lasted shorter than Mori King,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
which is really depressing.
Uh, yeah, Mori King went 35 chapters, and that was a manga about a bug that is a naked man.
Yeah,
And it's got 6 chapters more than Phantom Seer has right now.
yeah.
I mean, it's just weird looking at what's in the magazine right now and thinking that Phantom Seer might have been what's cut. And I don't mean to like shit on fans of any of this stuff, but like Roboco has 35 chapters. Does
Mm-hmm.
anybody read that? Hard-Boiled Cop and
Clearly
Dolphin
someone
has
does.
36 chapters.
Clearly someone does, but
I guess
like,
so, but and then you're telling me that Phantom Seer like isn't good enough to hang in a magazine with me and Roboco and Hard-Boiled Cop and Dolphin?
I guess like I'm trying to like wrap my head around what might cause such a problem. Maybe it's like one thing I saw people throw around is that maybe it's that Jump doesn't want to like be doesn't want to oversaturate itself with like occult exorcism manga, but like that makes no fucking sense. Their two biggest hits of the last decade
Yeah,
are
like
fucking
their two biggest hits like in the amount of time ever. You know?
yeah.
Like relative to the amount of time from release of the series ever. Nobody looks at that and they're like, "No, we can't do this again. We don't want any more of these." That's
Yeah, I
enough.
mean the idea of oversaturation doesn't cross a company's mind until they're well past beyond that point. That's just basic capitalism.
Also, yeah, plus it's not even like industry oversaturation. It's their own stuff. It's like saying, "Oh, Marvel's getting tired of making Marvel movies about superheroes." No, they're not.
I
They
I
make an 11
I,
billion dollars every time. They're gonna make more forever until we're all dead.
I need Jump to start making Marvel movies, and I need Marvel to start making Jujutsu Kaisen.
Akutami's just making MCU Jujutsu Kaisen movies from now on.
Yes, and Yuji will be played by Tom Holland, of course.
Yes, Tom Holland, the 26-year-old who acts like he's 17 perfectly on screen and people don't realize he's 26.
He's 26.
I don't know if he's 20. He's 20 something. He's much
Fuck.
older than Peter Parker is, but everyone treats him like he's 12.
Well, at least he looks like the age I would imagine Peter Parker, because what was it, Tobey Maguire? Like he was
He's
probably a
24.
similar age.
He's
He's
24.
24. Oh, he's my age. Damn. Maybe we should fight sometime.
Tobey
But
Maguire, yes, he was old when he was playing. He's like
yeah,
45 right now.
yeah, he looked very old. I remember that even as a kid.
Yeah, I mean,
But
Spider-Man came out, what?
2002, something like that. The Maguire
Well, I
trilogy.
guess 2002, so that was 20 years ago.
Hmm.
No, he would have been about in his mid-20s, same age as Tom Holland, a little bit older in the first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But he definitely looked more like a
He did
man.
look he looked much older than Tom Holland does. Tom Holland looks like a baby.
Yes. And he would play not Yuji, but of course, because it will be happening in America, in the Los Angeles incident with Eugene Itadori.
No, it would be like Death Note style. It would be Yuji, and then it'd be like Jackson. Yuji Jackson. Just like, yeah, because what do they call him in the Death Note one?
Oh
Light
God,
what?
Light Turner.
Light
Light
Turner. That's
Turner.
what it was. Light Turner. Yeah, he'd be
Yeah,
Yuji Jackson.
yeah. Netflix's Jujutsu Kaisen.
Megami Smith and
Gojo wouldn't even have a last name. He's just called Gojo.
yeah, he wouldn't have any other
And
name, and that would be they would clarify that that was a pseudonym, not his real name.
oh yeah, like it's actually an acronym for something.
Actually, no,
It's
he'd just be like a really old Japanese guy like Mr. Miyagi, and they would just call him
oh
Gojo Sensei.
oh I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
he would be incredibly serious all the time.
Never cracks a joke ever.
No,
He
because
wears a
jokes are for
blindfold because he's
silly
actually
cartoons.
blind. He's not he doesn't have special eyes. He's actually blind.
Though he takes off the blindfold and he actually has six eyes.
Like a spider head.
He's trading Yuji Jackson so he can have him as a snack. They're like, your cursed chi.
Yes, the chi.
To make it.
Your cursed chi.
Mm. Wow, we really
Yeah, we're
moved
really off
on.
topic here. We spiraled
Yeah,
into corporate.
we did.
Well, I don't even
We
know
didn't
how we
even.
spiraled into where we ended up getting there.
We didn't even talk about Phantom CS
No, we didn't.
chapter.
The chapter was really good. I like. I'm a sucker for the tropes they pulled out at the end there with her being like, I'm gonna back you up so you can use this awful power that you can't control on your own, but together we'll be just
Hmm.
fine. And it was a cute parallel to like with his old friend a long time ago. He would always try to do it all by himself, and then he would get really hurt, and then she would help him through the repercussions of that, and that ended up killing her. But in this one, they're doing it together, so it never gets to that point, and it's cute and it's sweet. I hope they hold hands at some point.
How
I'm here for that.
Yeah, it was a great chapter. Like, already when the chapter starts and it's like, oh yeah, he's fused with Ongyoki.
That spread is crazy.
That spread is so good, and I am so upset that all I could feel while looking at it was, fuck, this shit's getting cancelled.
Just like, sadness.
My entire experience of this chapter was so skewed because I was just angry that this was so good and that it's probably not getting a proper conclusion one way or another. Because even if it is like a planned thing where the author is like, oh yeah, I want to finish it, I think that's very much undercutting its potential if it ends just like in the next couple of events.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that we can just get through with a reasonable time frame. Like, I'm hoping the guy who's this is pure copium, which I've been snorting like crazy since Shibuya started, but I'm an addict now. I really hope that guy is right, that it's just saying that, oh, we're going into where everyone's going to prepare to fight Senju, and it's not going to be over in 3 weeks. It's going to be over in like 6 months. And this is just the same as like My Hero's final phase. Like, it's not in a week. It's just we're in the end game of the story.
Yeah.
Because if we can get a proper, like, the characters hang out, the characters fight these other mini bosses, the characters fight what's her face, then I'm okay with it ending there. I mean, it's never really been a, like, I agree it undercuts its potential because there's a lot of awesome shit in this world that they could go into, but it's never been too much more, at least stakes wise, than like a personal story between Iori and this demon bitch that he really hates.
That is true.
So if it culminates in that and it ends with that, and Iori can just kind of shed that a little bit of that sadness and be a nice boy for a while, I'm okay with that. But it still needs to get there on its own with time to breathe and not be like, okay, we got to wrap this up by chapter 39. We need 7 battles and a boss battle.
Like, yeah, basically.
Yeah, it needs to be able to breathe to get there. So I really hope that the cope is right, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think that's really it with this chapter. Like, I think I will enjoy this much more on a reread in the event that Phantom Seer gets a proper conclusion. Because I say it jokingly, but I very much felt it this week. Like, just reading it, I was already in that phase where I was detaching myself to get ready for when it gets
when it inevitably gets canceled and you're just in pain.
Yeah. Because, man, if that happens, like, I feel so bad for Matsura, the artist, because Tokyo Shinobi Squad also got canceled at like chapter 30 something. So, like, man, give this dude a break. His art is good. His art
is crazy, and the lore hasn't been bad either. I don't know. Also, I saw a lot of people like celebrating that it was getting canceled. Fuck y'all. Phantom Seer is great.
People just really love seeing shit get canceled. I mean, if Boruto ever gets canceled, I'll be dancing on its grave day one.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I was thrilled when Samurai 8 finally got the boot 28 chapters longer, like later than it should have.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, Schadenfreude is always something I can understand. But also, man, when I'm at the receiving end of it, that hypocrisy... Well,
it's just weird. Like, how do you have a grudge against Phantom Seer with these guys that you've never heard of? Like, I get, like, shitting on popular mangaka. Like, when Build King inevitably gets canceled, I will probably laugh a little bit about that, too, even though I like Toriko. But how can you be like, oh, these new guys who are trying to get a manga off the ground got canceled? Ha 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 ha! Victory! Like, what a weird mindset.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'd rather have Build King get canceled because the author of that is an established mangaka who already has a decent had a decent run in the magazine, and also is a person with a certain thing. Yeah. So yeah. I'd be more comfortable with something like Build King getting canceled over something like Phantom Seer, where you have two young and aspiring mangaka who both have had their other series canceled beforehand. Like, it just feels cruel in this case.
Yeah, it reminds me almost of like Horikoshi or the author of Spy Family, where it's like they've been trying for ages to get a manga in the magazine, and one finally stuck, and it's incredible, and everybody loves it. And it's like, I'm sure that's not as simple as that, because again, like, you could, if they never got rejected on the old ones, you might never have these series. They might never have gotten good enough with these to make these new series as good as they are. So that plays a part of it, but I don't know. I certainly wouldn't have been cheering their defeats at the time.
Yeah. So what do we give Fandom Seer this week?
Crying emoji out of 10.
Jump, if you cancel this, I will find you out of 10.
All right, sounds good.
All right, next
Mashle
one.
time.
Dude, Mashle is so fucking good.
It's so good. It's always so. We say this every time. Every single time we talk about Mashle, it just begins with us like getting hyper and saying it's really, really good. But it is.
Yeah. It's fucking insane because like, this chap. When I first saw the color page, which by the way, awesome color page, I was like, wait a minute, did I miss something? Like, I don't recognize this guy, this weird guy with the locks. And then I start a chapter. I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter. I'm having fun. Like Mash is giving a monologue to no one.
Yeah, he's literally monologuing to himself, just to nobody. And then it turns out that Lemon is also doing that. Also, I like that Mash says that, uh-oh, Mike warned me. And Finn realizes that he means his muscle. And which one?
He's learned.
Yeah, he says, Mike is warning me. And he said, oh, your pectoral muscle, Mike. So he knows which one is named which.
That's like, the thing is, that's so funny, but it's also weirdly wholesome.
It is. It's like, cute. It's super cute, but it's still hilarious.
Like, also, like, the fucking, when he has the confrontation with the Divine Visionary, and he's like, let's play a game, Mash. And Mash is like, nah, I'm on a break.
Yeah,
bro.
It's break time. I'm not doing that.
I was like, are you sure? I could literally fail you immediately. And Mash gets like perked up more and more the more he talks, and he's like, all right, I'm game. Like, motherfucker, I'm in.
I'll play. And
yeah,
I like, again, fucking... this is another one where the final like wham shot of him getting ready to fight is in the Doofy style, which I always find hilarious.
Yeah, it's, oh my god. Also, like, the game they play is just fucking you look, you lose.
Uh-huh.
Like, I thought we were getting a fight.
Nope, it's just you look, you lose.
Which, honestly, it might still turn into a fight.
Yeah, I would imagine they're not going to straight up fight, because I think this guy is like school staff. But I'm sure there's going to be more to it than actually just you look, you lose. Like, maybe he's got magic that manipulates the body or something. And he's going to try to do it to Mash and then realize that Mash is so muscular that he literally can't force his body to move.
Yeah. It's just funny. And, I do keep saying this every week. I feel like a broken record. But the thing is, Mashle is funny after 50 chapters of essentially the same joke.
It's the same joke every time. It really is.
Yeah.
And it's still funny. When he pours that giant protein shake.
Yeah. Like, also his explanation of how he started working out is just like, they were there. We have arms because we must lift dumbbells.
Why do humans have arms? So we can lift. Why do humans have legs? So we can deadlift.
Oh, it's so funny because also, like, Mash, for some reason, I know he's like, his whole deal is that he has muscles, but he never actually strikes me as a gym bro unless he's actually talking about working out.
Yeah, and he gets like weirdly obsessive with it.
Yeah, because the rest of the time he's just like a friendly dude. But then he starts talking about like, in the beginning there was arms. We must lift.
In the beginning, man was fish. It grew legs to do squats. Then it got so muscular, it grew arms in which to lift.
It's so funny. Also, just like, I like that Finn is the only one who doesn't engage, and he's kind of a stand-in for the reader. He's just like, what the fuck are these guys doing?
Also, like, Mash is giving the dramatic, like, why do I lift? And the dude's playing the violin. And then
so
Lemon's
good.
speech is, "Why am I an emotional burden?"
I'm an emotional burden to Mash because he was there.
Because he's there. I embrace my role as a dependent.
It's so good. And yeah, like I'm really excited to see like what this other divine visionary can do, because I'm liking how like divine visionary is becoming this buzzword for just this guy is gonna be super cool to witness. Like
Yeah,
all of them so
it's
far have been
basically
really
just
cool.
becoming like, this dude's badass. It's like a
Yeah,
captain in Bleach.
yeah, it's really cool. Like I think I talked about, I don't remember where I talked about this, maybe here or on Twitter. I really like it when series have like just a word that you can immediately connect with hype, like
Mm-hmm.
Bankai or domain expansion. And honestly, if Divine Visionary can keep this up, it might actually become something like that. Where it's just like, he's the Divine Visionary, and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and you know shit's about to get crazy. We've seen a lot
Uh-huh.
of them really early on. That's my only worry, is I feel like we're going through them at quite a pace.
Well, I don't know, because Rain and Orter seem to be mainstays in the plot. Like Rain, anyway, because he's Finn's brother, and Orter is literally Harry Potter.
I love
So
that he's
how could
evil
he
Harry
not?
Potter. It's amazing. It's like my
Yeah.
favorite thing. He's just racist Harry Potter.
He's just- oh, no, I feel like I might have said this before, but it's just Harry Potter with the personality of his creator.
I'm sure that's not intentional, but if it was, it'd be hilarious.
That'd be actually so funny. Like Mashle ends on the final page just like fuck you, J.K. Rowling, or some shit like that.
I could vibe with that.
I
But
could vibe with it.
I don't know. Something about MASH not like shying away from the obvious Harry Potter knockoff comparisons is really funny too to me. I don't know why.
Mhm. Yeah, like it's weird because it carries that parody so well and with so much swag that it's just hard not to be engrossed by it. Like it's so blatantly just Harry Potter with muscles, but at the same time, it's that blatant parody that gives it its own identity in a paradoxical way, right? Because like this whole thing is basically the Triwizard Tournament,
Yep.
and the Divine Visionary is just a chosen one, and Orter is literally Harry. But like it's so like indulgent in these things that it turns it into its own strength and divorces it from the original property in a way, which I think is really impressive.
Yeah, I always thought it was funny when Mashle first got announced, and everyone was like,
Mm-hmm.
"So it's just Black Clover again?" And now we're
Mm-hmm.
like 56 chapters in, and I can't imagine two things that are any more different than Black Clover and Mashle.
Well, yeah, I mean, the value of difference between Black Clover and good is pretty big. I mean, I didn't say
Uh
anything
oh.
like that.
We're gonna lose the Black Clover guy.
No, I love you, Black Clover guy. I don't mean it. I'm sure Black Clover was good this week. I mean, I've seen. Okay, one very quick Black Clover section, and you have to actually timestamp this.
Oh God.
Black
Okay.
Clover. I saw one page of it, and it looked really good. Tabata is a great artist. Black Clover gets a good art out of 10. End of section.
All right. I'll figure out a way to timestamp that 0.3 per second section.
YouTube should let you do that. People can see Black Clover in the chapter selection.
Yeah, they can look down at the chat. Is the page you saw that was good the one where he's like in demon mode rushing at whatever this thing is?
Yeah.
Yeah, that does look pretty cool. Asta looks
Yeah,
so
that's
lame
a.
I can't like him, but that
Uh-huh.
page is pretty cool.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, I think his design works better once it is in color, like on that cover, and it looks pretty ballin' on like some of the colorings I've seen. So
I don't know, man.
I,
That time skip redesign where he's like 3'1" but shredded is like the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
that is fair.
He's like
I
a
don't
buff
like his time
hamster.
skip design. Buff hamster.
He just looks like a little tiny hamster because he's all smiles and teeth, but he's also shredded.
that like 2-year time skip, he was literally just on the hamster wheel.
Yeah, he was just running on all fours on the hamster wheel. Going over to that little water bottle where you push the ball up to make the water come out.
He hides his sword now, like in his cheek pockets.
He just pulls it out of his cheek. Oh my god.
My magic is to never give up. But yeah, Black Clover had good art. That's all I can say because I haven't read it in over 2 years now.
Yeah, I haven't touched it since a little bit after the Elf arc ended, and I have no intention of really going back anytime soon. I did say that I would read it at some point, and then I keep seeing that there's like 200 chapters of it, and I'm like, oh god, it's almost 300, and I'm like, that's a trial for another day. I'm gonna keep reading The Prince of Tennis.
But hey, now that we talked about it, we've extended the section, so
that's true. Now the section is long enough to actually get into the timestamps.
Okay. All right. What's next? We only have 2 series left.
Next up is My Hero Academia.
All right. Good. I am happy.
I just want to jump in and say how absolutely hilarious it is that they showed these two like heroes from a long time ago, and they're so old he had to put a little thing in that says when they were in the series last.
Yeah, but honestly, I didn't even need that because I did remember both.
I know
of them,
you didn't need that. You didn't need it. That's not the same as everybody else, though.
No, look. Okay,
I know you saw them both, and the encyclopedia page pulled up over your eyeball like a Google Lens, and it listed their height, their weight, their quirk, and what the last thing they did was.
No, you know what? I'm not taking this. The reason I remember this is because the guy, Yoshindo, randomly won the popularity poll during the war arc, even though he hadn't appeared in like 200 chapters.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and like I do find it interesting that, just by having them appear, the chapter already kind of tells us a lot. Like, for example, it tells us they're third years, which they weren't last time, so we clearly have entered that second school year for Class A. Which, is a nice and indirect way to give us that, time has passed kind of deal. And also, while it is only very briefly acknowledged in this chapter, I do like seeing the two ever since I found out that they're dating. That is sweet.
That is cute.
I need more. Like, that's the thing. Like, people, look at chipping and whatever, and are like, oh, that's cringe. But for My Hero specifically, I need more couples because, goddammit, these are fucking teenagers cramped in a high school together doing the most hormonal phase of their life. I do not accept it that there's just no couples.
That everyone is completely asexual in My Hero.
Everyone.
And I'm not saying they have to bang, but you're telling me the only romance in the world is Deku and Ochaku, and everyone else is like, no. Ew.
Yeah, we have Deku and Uraraka is like, obviously the main thing. We have these two, Shindo and Neck Girl, dating.
Even you don't know the name of Turtleneck.
I don't remember her name. She is too irrelevant. All I remember is that when she like retracts her body so that her head is coming out of her crotch, that's one of the most cursed things I've seen in my life. But that's it. But yeah, so those two are dating, and then there is Mushroom Girl and Black Color Guy from Class B. They're not dating, but the guy has a big crush on her.
Well, I've blocked all of Class B out of my psyche, so I couldn't tell you who any of those people are.
Well, good, because, Season 5 is airing, and you can just rewatch your favorite arc now.
I'm not going to do that.
Oh, you're absolutely going to do that.
I didn't even watch Season 4.
What?
I think, actually, did I even watch Season 3?
What?
I might have only watched Season 1 and 2 of My Hero.
Nah, that's fine, actually. The anime kind of sucks. That's harsh. It doesn't suck. The anime does its best, and the big moments it does very well. But oh my god, there are just certain sections of it, especially in Season 4, where I was fighting for my life. Like, they messed up the gentle fight.
Oh, no, that's like the best thing. That fight's so good.
Yeah, and the lover mode in the manga, which was like, he's like on fire and shit, they just gave him like a After Effects aura, and that was it.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, but what was I saying? Oh yeah, like so I want more couples in this series just because it always felt weird to me that in something like Naruto, for example, there were no couples, like no actual couples happening, and it was only this weird, oh, my heart yearns for you, Sasuke, and I've not
Yeah,
seen you in
just how
like
like
3 years.
every girl wants Sasuke, and then the one girl wants Naruto, and no boys want anybody, which is
Yeah, it's
obviously
it's
how it works in real life.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, so that's always weird. Like in general, I have this like it's weird because like with shonen anime specifically, there's always this weird acceptance that sexuality exists, that like attraction is a thing that happens, but it never happens to any of the main cast. And if it does, it's like just the main character and their love interest. And even then, it's like really weirdly constructed where it's this desire to be with someone, but also to not like transgress into things. And it's like, man, like
Yeah, just
yeah,
go see a
romance.
movie, y'all. It's not that deep.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's
Go to
weird. So I'm
TGI
always
Fridays, all right? Shut up.
like I definitely do appreciate when I get like even just small crumbs like this, where it's just like, oh yeah, these two are casually dating. Like that's a cool thing. I like that.
Yeah, that is cute.
But moving on from romance, the world is fucked.
Yeah,
Like
everything looks real
totally.
fucked. It's all real fucked up.
Yeah, and I like that. I like that society is very much in the process of falling down, but it isn't like, oh, everything's just stopped. Like you
Yeah, I
know,
saw people
cer-
complaining about that. Like, oh, well, Shigaraki didn't even win. Society didn't crumble. It's just it, but like this is how it would actually happen, right? Like that
Mhm,
the Endeavor video wouldn't hit YouTube and then the whole world would be like, "Well, I'm done.
mhm,
It's riot time. It's just, let's burn it all down time." Like this is how it
mhm.
would happen. It would be in phases like this, right?
Yeah, basically. Like I like that it's basically that they're basically being sent out to convince people to go to the shelters, and this old guy is like, "No, we don't trust you anymore. I hired my own help, and we run this area now because we can actually keep it safe." And like it's just convincing. Like I can believe that that is how a societal downfall would actually happen, where you would have people who take it into their own hands, and you would have people organize themselves, parallel to the government's organizations. And I also like that they're like really dismissive of heroes, and I like that the main guy who's dismissive of heroes is an old guy, and he's like, yeah, you heroes can't do anything, and even you kids are even more worthless. And it's like, yeah, like I believe that, like that would be a thing that would probably happen in a situation like that, where the older generation, especially the more jaded generation, the more people who've had worse experiences with the system, will be like, no, I'm definitely not trusting the system. I'm definitely not trusting some fucking kids running
Yeah,
around
some high school
playing
intern.
hero. Yeah, like it's very well illustrated in my opinion. Like I really think that this societal decay is being shown in a surprisingly nuanced way, because
Yeah,
it would have been easy for Rikoshi to literally just have riots 24/7, everything's burning, but it's just infrastructure is broken down, people don't trust the system anymore, and some villains are on the loose because you just cannot contain them unless you have really powerful heroes on the scene, and most of those are in the process of resigning or recovering.
yep.
So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I don't love Ejideku quite yet. He hasn't really.
Hmm.
I'm not super bought in on it. It's like a teddy bear with a black and red color scheme. But at the same
Uh-huh.
time, like I really loved the subtle little bit of how easily he smacked out
Muscular.
Muscular. Yeah. As just a way of like this is not the same kid that fought him before and he's going to act like it is, and us as the reader can already tell like he's about to get wrecked and it's going to be great.
Hmm. Yeah, like I actually like Deku's current design. Like I think this is as good as the bunny ears are ever gonna look. Like I can't imagine a way in which that design would be retained without it being stupid. Um, and so I like the way this design is handled, where it's almost generational in a way, because you get the base costume, which is the one his mom made, and it is like the original costume again, from what I can tell, with like the darker color scheme. And he has the boots from Shoot Style. he has Gran Torino's cape, and then he has like his mask and his bunny ears. Like it very much feels like you can tell that this is almost like a layered coalescence of all the lessons that has learned. And most importantly is the fact that he's blood soaked and like in tatters, which to me almost makes it seem like these are the scars that the war left behind itself. Like, he just ran out of the hospital and fucking grabbed whatever he had and became Batman. Which, I think that's kind of cool. I definitely hope he's not like just complete edgelord. Like I want him to still be a bit of his old personality. But if he's about to be a bit more of a serious character, I can jive with that. I do also like that he has All Might eyes now, with
Yeah,
like the
he's got
dark.
the crazy All Might eyes.
Yeah, and he even has like the one shining pupil. Like, I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know. The design itself is fine. I think it's just hard for me to take Deku as a character, as a serious, edgy character, seriously, because it's like, come on,
Yeah,
you've been the prototype, sweet, nice little baby boy up until this point. It's gonna take a lot of doing for me to be like, all right, that dude's cool. That dude's Dante from
hmm
Devil May Cry, cool trademark. Like, it's gonna take a bit.
yeah, I feel you. I feel you. But I think Deku is one of those characters that has always had like those seeds of not perhaps not cool, but like rawness in him.
Well,
Like I
yeah,
don't think
yeah.
there's.
I mean, he has his raw moments, but those have always been moments, and then he goes back to he's like Tanjiro. You have your I guess technically Tanjiro's like him because he came first, but you're the edgy sweet boy. But then every now and again you bust out like the raw moment, and you're like, oh shit, this dude can do that, and then he's right back to being like, hey, you gave me this churro. Here's $2, even though I just saved your life because I have to make sure that I pay you the appropriate amount of money as is required by law. Let me shake your hand. Thank you. Bye. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
all
yeah,
right, kid, calm down.
yeah. But regardless, I am very excited to see how he handles Muscular
I
next
hope he
week.
just beats the piss out of this dude.
Yeah, me too.
I hope he just destroys him.
Because
I'm
like,
feeling like he will. It's set up for that to happen too, because this is like the
yeah.
old enemy that he barely beat before, and it's his first fight after the war. It's like our first fight seeing him in his new mode and whatever. He is. It's set up to be an absolute ass beating, and I need it.
Yeah. I actually just need like an actual uncontested win for Deku in this series. Because it feels like a lot of his fights, he either wins by not winning or he wins just, by a hair. So I really do need just a fight where he curb stomps someone.
Uh,
Like,
of
I
anyone
feel
to
like
do it
we
on, Muscular would be perfect. Because even remember they make a point to show us like, oh, Muscular bulked up his defenses even more, and then Deku just
mhm.
casually was like, get out of here, get
Yeah,
away from me.
yeah.
So they went out of their way to be like, yeah, Muscular is super jacked up, and it just didn't
Mhm.
matter. So I really hope the next chapter is just 19 pages of Deku whooping his ass.
The 19-page Muda.
Yeah, it's just all it is. The entire chapter is just 19 pages of still frames of him punching Muscular in different directions.
Just everything is just full one panel double spreads, very detailed of Muscular just getting ripped apart.
There's just no dialogue, nothing. It's just a bunch of different double spreads of dramatic punches.
That'd be so funny, but so cool as well. Like in general, I just need Deku to have his moment where you really feel, okay, he has come a long way. He is truly competent, no buts or ifs. Because I feel like a lot of time there's always that one, like, the asterisk, the little thing that is like, well, actually. I feel like the last fight where Deku truly shone for himself was the gentle fight.
I
Because
think that's
even
right,
his fight
yeah.
against yeah, because even his fight against Shigaraki was very much I unlocked two quirks while we were fighting, just casually. And also everyone around me got fucking wrecked. So I need him to just kind of have his savior moment. And I feel like this is a good way to do it, because obviously, as you mentioned, Muscular was very much a like a power stepper back in the forest arc, where Deku couldn't overcome him unless he literally managed to do 1,000,000%, which was just 110%. But whatever, we'll not get into that again. Um, But so to see him now handle him easily would be amazing. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Yeah, plus I think at this point the readers need a little pick me up, something a little nicer. So
Yeah,
hopefully this is your all right. It's time to get it's time to get
time to have
invested in
fun.
the good guys again because they've been getting their asses kicked and crying a lot lately.
Yeah, like a note of levity. Next chapter, Deku just turns to the camera and he's like, "Anyway, did you know that household abuse really fucking sucks?" And it just cuts back to the Endeavor family. We
It's
don't.
the very first panel is Muscular's already unconscious on the ground, and Deku's talking, and it has like an abuse hotline phone number in one of his speech bubbles, and then it's just back to Enji's hospital bed.
Uh-huh.
The whole chapter is just back to him in the hospital.
It just slowly becomes the Endeavor show. I mean, it kind of has,
It has
in
been
a
for a
way.
while, I think. Yeah, but
Yeah, yeah. But also, did you see the new volume cover that came out?
I did not.
Oh, it's Dobby's solo cover.
Oh, I like
It's
that.
really good. Wait, let me actually send it to you real quick.
Yes.
Well, yeah, it's really cool. Might actually be one of my favorites.
Oh, that is a good one. That's an excellent one. The fire effects look
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Hori's just crazy with the pen when he wants to be.
Those are cool because it almost doesn't even look like it's. I mean, obviously it's a still image, but you can imagine like the fire slow flowing off. I like that. That looks good.
Yeah, it's really cool. But yeah,
I
I
like
would
it a
say
lot more
that
than
kind
the
of
volume
close.
cover that was just Shigaraki nutting.
I like that.
I'm sure you
I
do.
I like it. Look, I'm here for the Shigaraki nut, all right? Like if it's canon, I like it.
As long as it's canon.
As long as it's canon, I have to stand. That is the contract. I still have 2 years before it runs out and I have to renew it.
You have to re-up the contract.
Yeah. New conditions, new terms. Although I'm thinking I might transfer and officially sign with the Jujutsu Kaisen Hive, actually.
Yeah, see,
Like
that's
this.
we have a recruiting season coming up in exactly 2 years, so that's perfect
Oh,
timing.
awesome. Awesome. Well, by that time, according to Gege, this manga will be over, so I'm not
Well,
sure
the good
yet.
news is you can still stand it because it'll be better than every other thing that's coming out. So,
No, the good news is also Gege is a fucking liar,
yeah, he's
so
also a gigantic liar. So,
yeah. I think my closing statement on MHA is Deku is canonically wanted for mass murder right now, out of 10.
okay.
Have you seen that?
I've seen the image, but I don't know what it's from.
The new movie, World Heroes Mission. The plot is, oh god, okay. So the plot is there's this group that seems to take Overhaul's ideology of quirks as a disease really seriously, to the point where they start planting anti-quirk bombs all over the globe, and also somehow frame Deku for like a mass murder. And now the heroes have to defuse the bombs, defeat the villains, and clear Deku's name somehow in the span of 2 hours. And it's like the trailer is like this crazy shot where like almost every hero in the series is jumping out of a helicopter and skydiving over the fucking that red bridge in San Francisco.
The Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah.
The
And
Red
they're all
Bridge.
wearing like they're all wearing like these super futuristic like black uniforms. This is actually the first movie I'm kind of excited for because it looks so stupid.
Yeah, that
But
sounds
like,
stupid, but in a good way.
yeah, like it's not Bakugo gets one for all stupid. It's, oh my god, the sweet baby boy Deku is wanted for first degree
The
murder
picture's funny
globally.
too because he looks like Doofy in the photo. He just
Yeah,
looks like he's like making a little dumb face, and they're like, "Yeah,
yeah,
he's
because
killed hundreds."
that picture is so funny on so many levels. Because the presenter there is supposed to be an American, so that's how Horikoshi thinks white people look.
He's
Just
not
like a
wrong.
fucking just a block of skin. And the news outlet, like you can see the logo, is literally just
It's
Fox
Fox
News.
News. Yeah, I saw that. It's just
Like
Tucker
after
Carlson. All for One's been spreading the misinformation the whole time.
Oh man, yeah, I'm really excited to see this
Thank you for
movie.
joining us
Like,
on Tucker Carlson tonight. Little Japanese boys, what kind of threat do they pose to your community?
and like it's especially funny after the whole thing a couple of years ago when Jump Force came out and everyone was like, "Oh no, Deku's a racist,"
Yeah, because
because
he
he
said
calls
Piccolo was evil because
Namekians.
he was green.
Yeah, the green stands for evil. But yeah, I think that about covers MHA actually for me. This was very much a lighter chapter. It was very much just here's the world, here's our character coming in, see you next week.
Yep.
Which it's fine.
Yeah,
We've had
this is
very
one of those
dense
chapters where
chapters.
it was almost like Phantom Seers last week, where you're like, you can tell shit's gonna go down really hard next week. It was the setup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it was good setup.
So yeah, we give this a first-degree murder charge out of 10.
Coordinated disinformation campaign out of 10.
All right. So there's only one thing left, I
There's
suppose.
only one left. It's Jujutsu Kaisen time. I fucking love Jujutsu Kaisen. Like I can't put it into words. Also, Gege, you're a bitch. Show me the corpse. Then, if you're gonna do that, all right. Show me the body if you're gonna do that.
Until the body,
Until I see a body in a casket getting ready to have a funeral, you're a fucking liar.
Yeah, because here's the other thing as well. Honestly, the way it's presented, it almost makes me think like she's gonna come back. Like it's like, oh, I actually didn't die. I was healed last minute. Because, as you said, the body is absent.
Show me the body, Gege, you fucking liar.
Show me a corpse, or I will not shut up.
Show me the tombstone, okay? Tell me, have Megami be like, yeah, we buried her yesterday. Show me the tombstone. Otherwise, you're fucking lying to me, and she's fine. All Megami did was look down. Maybe all he means is she's really hurt. I don't know. Show me the corpse, you fucker.
It's very much like, Yuji asks Megumi, and Megumi looks down, and Yuji's like, oh, I see. And I'm like, motherfucker, I don't. Just fucking tell me.
Yeah, what do you mean I see? Fuck you. Let him speak. Let him
no
fucking
body,
talk.
No deal. Also, God, Tengen looks ugly.
Yeah, is that him? Is that like what? I know they're like, oh yeah, Tengen doesn't do much because he just like is a body that ages. Is that what we look like if we age long enough? If you let a human body age, it just becomes whatever this fucking totem thing is.
It's just fucking Patrick from SpongeBob, but wrinkly and has 4 eyes.
There was one thread on Twitter where they were like, this is what they wanted that girl to fuse with, and everyone's like, she was better off getting shot, I'm not gonna lie.
He just looks like a very, very rancid potato.
He really does look like a really like mutated version of Patrick Star. Like, he looks like a thumb with eyes.
Yeah.
Which, like, I almost, like, I kind of get the feeling that this was supposed to be, like, a huge reveal of Master Tengen, because we've been talking about him forever, and he just looks so fucking stupid. He looks like a Goomba that gained sentience, and so his head expanded upward instead of out to the sides.
But okay, speaking of Tengen, I have not seen anyone mention this, so I may be crazy, but I felt like the way of them like telling us that they're gonna go meet Tengen to them actually going in and entering the vault was weirdly fast.
Yeah, they didn't even like. I would assume that them getting onto the high school would have been more difficult given Yuji's wanted status, but they just kind of walked in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's kind of weird because like when Megumi was explaining the plan, I was like, okay, this is the next arc, and then 2 pages later, they're in the school.
They're just in there already. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, like I don't think I'm a big fan of that personally. I must admit. Like, I'm glad that we're getting the information as quickly as possible, but I do wish we could have taken the opportunity to like actually have a story arc or like a mini arc about that, because honestly, at this point, the Jutsu High security measures seem fucking pathetic. Like, Tengen is not doing a good job.
Well, maybe he's letting them in. I don't know. Maybe he's doing it on purpose. Because he was like,
Well,
hey, welcome to my gross forest. My thumb forest.
Yeah, but I mean, he let Toji in. And he
Yeah,
let
well, that,
Manito in.
Yeah.
Like, this is the third time someone has broken into Jujutsu High with seemingly no fucking effort. God, Geto breaks into it in the prequel. This is the fourth time we've seen someone break into Jujutsu High without breaking a sweat.
Yeah, not only does
Like-
Geto break in, but he has like a million curse spirits that he just like releases into it, and they're like, eh. Actually, doesn't he break in twice? Doesn't he break in to issue the threat and then again to attack Yuta later?
Oh yeah, that's true. Dude, Tengen actually does not have any ability aside from immortality. He doesn't create barrier techniques.
He's just lying.
He's just told them. He's like, oh yes, you see, my technique is invisible, but we're totally safe. He just goes back into his forest and is like eating cornflakes all day.
It's just this gross thumb dude sitting on a couch like eating chips. And everyone comes down and they're like, oh, we have to bring this creepy thumb man a conveniently very pretty young girl. And he's like, yep, I need it for my barrier.
I need it for my barrier technique. Don't ask questions.
Don't ask how it works. I just need my barrier.
There is no time for questions. Send me pictures of her feet.
I need a pretty young companion, a 46 case of Coke, and some more potato chips. And whatever the newest superhero DVD is, whatever just came out. I haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I need it for the barrier.
There's no time. It is vital for the ritual.
The barrier's gonna go down in. He like opens the fridge. He's got 4 cans left. He's like, 2 days.
Like, he just ominously sends them telepathic messages, and it's just like advertisements for like a new gaming console. He's like, oh Joe, you must send me a PS5.
Not that damn digital edition. Only the standard edition can support the barrier.
Digital editions are ephemeral and thus do not contribute to Jujutsu Society. Like, the only reason the principal is allowed to see him is because he's the only one in on it. And he comes in to run
he
like
lets him play the PS5.
He runs maintenance on his one TV that he has in his void. Like, unironically, I would not be surprised if he actually does have a TV in his void next week.
Yeah, that would not surprise me at all. He definitely looks like he would. It would like this is the kind of character where they can drop something silly with him. Like he's gonna be Goasu from Dragon Ball or something.
He's like, oh yes, I'm watching Jujutsu Tube.
Yeah, everyone's like, wow, this is Master Tengen in this white void. He's like, oh yeah, we're still in the void. Hang on. Here, come into my like small 1-bedroom apartment living room. And it's just everyone's like, just on the couch.
The reason he lives at Jujutsu High has no purpose. He just doesn't want to pay rent in the real world. He's like, have you seen the housing prices in Japan? That shit's insane. I'm not paying that shit.
You think anybody's gonna hire a thumb man?
On the applications, they asked me if I had tattoos. You think if they have a problem with that, they're gonna allow me in? They're gonna shoot me on sight. I mean, to be fair, I would shoot him on sight too.
I would too. Also, why are Maki and Yuki watching just white on a TV?
Oh, they are.
It's just nothing on the TV.
That's it. That's interesting. Also, I like that Maki has Toji's hair style now.
Yep, after the burns.
That's very cheeky.
Yeah.
That's very cheeky. Yeah. And also, like, the way they explain it's like, it was her physical resistance that allowed her to survive getting blasted. Now, Obito had more curse, but he couldn't survive it. That is so, like, roundabout and cool.
Yeah, like, I like it, because, you know, it makes the heavenly restriction seem even stronger. Because, like, she just had more physical constitution. She's more durable.
Mm-hmm.
So when his cursed energy got overpowered, he just got blasted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
with
really cool.
With Nanami.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's really cool because it also makes, like, it makes her whole struggle feel a bit more validated. Where it's like she really was an incredible asset, or could have been an incredible asset to the Zenin family, and they just fucking racismed her out.
Also,
So
I like how
yeah,
they
like
racismed her out, and the only one that doesn't agree with racisming out heavenly bionic people is fucking Naoya, the
yes, but
misogynist. So she's out
yeah,
of
he would
luck
have.
no matter what.
Yeah, he's like, Maki, I will allow you back into the Zenin family because I think heavenly restrictions are not a sin. However, you are a woman,
Which
therefore,
is a sin.
yes,
Therefore,
you
you
can
are
be born
still
two
grade 4
things.
forever. Not because you have a heavenly restriction, but because you are a woman.
There's you can be born one of two things: a man or a sinner. That's Naoya right there. Oh, like I kind of hope we see Naoya again sometime. He's so funny.
I'm sure we will. They left him alive on purpose.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, also can I say I really love Choso this chapter.
Choso's
He's
so
so
great.
funny.
I love him in general. But he's so good this chapter where he like eerily sticks his head out of the shadows. And he's just like, yeah, I've been listening the whole time.
Yeah, and it's so funny too because like right now the anime has barely reached a point where he appears and he's like this creepy villain guy, and in the manga he's literally just Todo now,
Yep, pretty
pretty
much.
much.
Yuji calls him his brother and he's like, ah!
He he has a fucking Endeavor Shoto
He
moment.
does. He's so happy.
Also, can I just say, and this hasn't anything to do with the chapter per se, but through the author comments, we now know that Akutami and Hori are personal friends, and they went to watch the Evangelion movie together, and I think that's so wholesome. That
That
is
is
so
very wholesome. They
cool.
went to go watch a movie because Horikoshi was like, I don't think I could get through it by myself, but I had a
Oh,
buddy.
yeah, it's really cute because I also like I know from previous interviews and comments that Hori especially really loves socializing with other Jump mangaka. So it's really cool to see that him and Akutami seem to be a bit closer even because I don't think he's ever mentioned going to the movies with anyone else. So it's cool. Like it's cool to see that there's intermingling between these authors. I suppose it's just wholesome to see as readers and fans of both series.
Yeah, that is
Like
cute.
our young kings running the magazine.
Our young kings.
Anything else
Yeah, I
on
actually have a
Jujutsu?
couple other things that I really liked was the
Oh,
callback to the Star Plasma Vessel incident. There's still the blood stain on the floor,
oh,
and Yuki kind of
yeah.
reminisces for a minute about like that's when everything just started going to shit because that's when
Hmm.
Geto broke out and she left on her own to go examine shit and I don't know. I just thought it was a cute little moment where she was like, "Yeah, everything went to shit right here,"
Hmm.
because that's also
Yeah.
where everything kind of starts going to shit when you're reading it, because that's like
Hmm.
the first major emotional punch of like, "Oh God, I really was
Yeah.
invested in them being happy," and then it goes right into
Hmm.
Shibuya after that. So
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. You mean the Los Angeles incident?
yes, yes, the Los Angeles incident where Gojo spelled G.O.J.O. it's an acronym, was sealed in the federally approved private prison realm.
Hmm. And Yuji Jackson fought his arch enemy Mike.
Mike
Uh,
Ito.
Mike Ito. Yeah, but yeah, it is really cool because when I first read Star Plasma Vessel, I did not interpret it very much as like an inciting incident for the entire story. But Shibuya and this now mini arc really are making it out to be like they're kind of recontextualizing it as like as you said, the point where everything started going to shit, and I really really like that. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I think because at
Um,
first I agree, it was kind of just felt like it was more of like just for this is how Gojo got to where he is. You know, like this is how we got the guy that you know that's the most broken guy ever, and this is where his
mhm,
personality came from or whatever. But I do love that they're slowly just kind of everything pointing back to that moment. I mean, you have Toji, you have Geto, and you have Gojo, and then you have Rico, and that's just sort of where everything led us to here. It's because I love that arc a lot, so I love
mhm.
anytime it gets name dropped by any of the characters. Also, why
Yeah,
are they
and
bringing Maki with them? She probably should be in a bed.
they're hoping Tengen can heal her.
Well, I,
I
I
don't
think they
know.
said that she's like healed. I don't know. It was
Hmm.
Yuki's explanation was kind of confusing because she was like, yeah, we can't really do anything about the scars. Reverse curse technique still leaves the marks afterward. But she is okay. She's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And even Youth is like, are you like okay? But if she's actually okay, why is she still like bandaged up and stuff?
Yeah, that is kind of weird.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really interested in what Tengen will actually tell them because they're just like, oh yeah, he's really old. He probably knows stuff, and he's like, he watches Jujutsu High and he has been for so long. Maybe he has an idea.
I also
I
like
kind of
when in
wanted.
the Star Plasma Vessel when Geto's like, yeah, he's more of a tree than a person, and now we're like, nope, I'm a thumb, man. Not a tree, I'm a
Yeah,
thumb.
yeah, but one thing I definitely want next week or sometime soon, I don't want him to tell. I want Tengen to basically tell them, yeah, I have no clue who this brain guy is. He's not Kamo. I know nothing of him. I feel like that would really cement the brain as like this big mysterious force because I still don't want it to just be Kamo. Like I still want the thing that Kamo had stitches be an actual hint towards, oh,
Yeah,
this
I
is
mean,
something
I'm still fully
older.
convinced it's not Kamo. There's the way the brain talks is
Mhm.
just you wouldn't be just Noritoshi Kamo if you talked that way. I think that the
Yeah.
characters call him Noritoshi Kamo because that's what Choso called him, and that's all they have to go on. But
Yes,
the way
yes.
that the brain behaves, if it ends up just being Kamo, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. So I really want Tengen to just be like, I have no clue. What the fuck? He's like scanning his brain and he starts
his
like
his ancient man
shaking.
brain.
Yeah, he starts like bursting out into cold sweats. He's like, what the fuck? I don't know anything about him. Like as funny as it sounds saying it now, it would actually like be pretty impactful.
Yeah, it would be. Well, I mean, the whole thing about the brain is like, I almost think they don't know what they're like supposed to ask, because they could ask him
Hmm.
about Noritoshi Kamo because that's who they think it is, but then
Hmm.
would that information even really help them that much?
Yeah, yeah, you're right, you're right. Like
So it's
it's
weird. I
weird.
don't know. Also, I hope they ask him
Also,
about the prison realm, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you just do this. you just you just like twist it like a Rubik's cube this way, and then it opens."
they're like, how can we open the prison room? He's like, what do you mean? You're inside one right now. And Gojo just walks up and he's like, sup?
Hey, I've been chilling with Tengen the whole time. I'm ready to be in the story again.
I've been watching Jujutsu Tube lately, and you know what? Those folks from Shonen and Chill, they sure know what they're talking about.
Everybody go like, comment, favorite, and subscribe that channel before we go take on Geto.
I I heard Geto has become very political lately. That's kind of weird. Anyway.
It's just all the knowledge he gets about Geto is through this fucking the manga memes.
Gojo is such a fucking like aloof idiot that the only way he understands the Jujutsu Kaisen lore is to read the wiki and watch our podcast. He's like, oh shit, what the fuck was my technique again? Let me read the wiki real quick. What the fuck you mean my six eyes can do that? Also, this is probably the last thing I have on this chapter. I really love that Maki has a cape. Like you barely see it, but it looks really cool. Because she has like a little, almost like a little Attack on Titan cape, like a half cape. It looks really
Oh,
awesome, and
she
I've already seen.
does. I thought that was her jacket, just like over her shoulder, but it actually is a cave.
Yeah, and there's like already some really cool, some really sick fan art of it. Wait, I'll send you one that I found earlier and that I thought looked so cool. Like, man, that is such a look. I think I actually prefer it over her original design personally.
Yeah, well, her original design was mostly just the
Girl.
school uniform, but
Yeah.
yeah, I do like the. Yeah, I could. The first panel that you see it looks like she's just got her jacket slung over her shoulder, but it definitely is a cape. That looks dope.
Mhm. Yeah, that looks dope. But yeah, that's it from me if you don't have anything else.
Nope. Yeah, I think I'm good. I
All
uh,
right.
I
What do we
also
give
okay.
it?
Actually, I have one other thing. I like that Yuta is all in on helping the team. He's going to be around for a while, and that's exactly the emotional support animal that I need right now. So I like because Yuta is the
Yeah.
one who says, "Yo, we need to go back. Sumiki's running out of time." Because Megami is
Mhm.
like, "Oh no, this isn't working out. My sister." And Yuta's the guy who steps up and is like, "Yeah, we need to go and do this for him right now." And that was
Mhm.
cute. I like that. And now I'm
Yeah,
done.
that's true. Okay. Well, what do we give Jujutsu Kaisen?
Uh, raw Kino goat swag out of 10. Forest thumb out of 10.
I think I'll just give it a straight 10 personally, but you do what you want.
All right, deal. 10 out of 10.
I'm sorry, I did not. I feel like I duped you now. But all right, man. In that case, is this the end?
I think it's the end. All right, everybody. Thank you, as always, for watching Shonen and Chill. We appreciate you, especially you, Black Clover guy. You keep
Especially
rocking,
you.
especially you.
Keep telling us how good Black Clover was this week. We love it.
Exactly. It's like I don't even have to read it. You're doing it for me. I know it's good every week. Um, and we will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
Goodbye.